I'm Scarlett, and I have a huge mini-series in store for you. I know that sounds a little crazy, but it is. It's a huge mini-series. Now, why? Because this is what's coming up. We have tomatoes and dill and flowers and multiple tomatoes. We have peppers and cucumbers and squash and strawberries and watermelon. Who doesn't love watermelon? I've got lettuce, all kinds of salads, spinach, basil, herbs, lots of herbs, teeny tiny little baby strawberries that are just sprouting. I've even got mangoes and avocados. We've got parsley and poppies and lavender. We've got basil. I've already said that. We've got garlic in pots growing for the greens, which will eventually go outside and be grown for the actual garlic bulbs. We've got up here peas and cucumbers, moneymaker tomatoes, yellow tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, beef tomatoes, some thyme, beautiful thyme growing lovely here. And then at the end I've got a whole bunch of lovely flowers, lots of flowers, because I love flowers. And what's better than growing your own flowers instead of buying flowers when they cost a fortune to buy them and you don't want to buy them and you don't need to buy them. You just need to grow them. In fact, let me show you this, guys. These are lupins. Don't we just all love lupins? Do you know what lupin is? It's a gorgeous plant. If you don't know, go online, check it out. Lupin, okay? They're so pretty and they're so big and they're so beautiful, and you can grow them from seed and they're really easy. Obviously, I've got dahlias in the box that haven't been planted out yet. You know that from last year. But I've also got dahlias here that started back in December, late December, and I put them in the pot and started them up. Now, I was going to propagate these and cut them off and start them in smaller additional pots to make multiple plants out of one root. But it just got so beautiful. I mean, look at that. How can you not love that? So I'm just going to keep it like this and put it out into the garden as soon as our last frost date. Now I'm in zone 8, and that means that here in zone 8, my last frost date is going to be around May, early to mid-May. I'll have to check that out. Specifically, I have to look on the last few years because my garden itself is actually a hot zone, so although we do get frost, I'd like to put covers on top, and it tends to be a little warmer in my garden than, say, my neighbor's garden. But in general, it's about May. Now, you want to check out when your last frost date is. Hello? Why are you taking my hair here? Because that's going to be really important. Your last frost date is going to tell you when you should start your planting. So the thing with planting like this, you can do this. You can go crazy and grow everything you could possibly want and need and ever dream of in a greenhouse. Or, sorry, a growing room. Or in a greenhouse, of course. But a growing room is really easy, because you can control the temperature in the room. I simply have a dial on the wall, I turn it up, and voila, it gets nice and warm. I have a few grow mats under here, and of course the lights under here. I've got more lights here. I am going crazy with lights. I mean, I'm like, I need more lights. So I'm just grabbing lights from the studio and grabbing lights from the building mart and just putting things together and going crazy trying to get lights. Because of course I have my original grow lights, but that's not enough. But what I've done here, just for you guys, is I've gone ahead and I've started pretty much everything. I mean, things that I wouldn't start, and I've done so much of it. Now, I do have a side note. I am actually planning on, offering some of these to friends and neighbors and setting up, taking some, of course, to my shop and selling some at my little flower shop. But the majority of this, and the reason why I have so many different varieties, is so that I can show you how to plant and grow these. So it would be great if I just said, here's a pot, look, I made a pot, now put some dirt in it, drop in a seed, close it up, sprinkle it with water, leave it alone. That would be okay, but what I want to do is show you how to do that, but follow that up with, and 2 weeks later you've got this, huh? So, you can see what's happening. So that's why I've gone ahead and I've gone a little crazy and I've planted so many things. I think there was 263 plants at one point, but then I went a little crazy after that. Let me show you this. Yeah, and I started really going nuts. Like, these are 3 varieties of tomatoes. Now, it is good that I planted it like this because I really wasn't sure what my germination rate would be. And as you can see, the entire middle section practically didn't come out. So I believe those are purple tomatoes. I've got it on some list somewhere, and they did not germinate at all, whereas the other 2 did, the beef tomato and a cherry tomato. Now you might notice that I don't tend to tell people, I don't like to really announce what I'm growing, and the reason why is because what I choose to grow specifically, if it's a moneymaker tomato or a cherry this or a yellow pear that, it's really not relevant because it just happens to be what I have chosen to grow. I don't want you guys to feel like if I'm growing a yellow pear tomato, yellow pear cherry tomato, you guys should all go out and grab and grow a yellow cherry pear tomato. I think that you should go find and grow what you want to eat. So I will tell you how to grow garlic and how to grow tomatoes and how to grow peppers, but I'm not so much gonna say, I'm certainly not gonna, announce like crazy, these are the seeds I'm growing, because it's not important. What's important is that I show you how to grow tomatoes, how to grow peppers, how to grow garlic, etc., 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 and that you can then use that knowledge and grow your food. But the most important thing is only grow what you're gonna eat, because what's the point otherwise, right? If you grow it and you don't like it, you put all that work and effort into it and you don't like it, I mean, that's seriously disappointing. So that's why I do that. So this is really my garden update. I just want to check in and tell you guys I am here. Absolutely, and I am growing all of this. I mean, there's actually more. There's a whole craziness over here. I've got a big shelf over here that's just full to the brim. I've got dill and tomatoes and more lettuce and more all kinds of crazy things over there. So I'm growing all of this stuff, and this is why I haven't really been online the last month. That and my internet is kind of flippy-floppy and decided to not work for a while. But that's a whole other story. I'm getting all this ready so that I can show you guys what I'm going to grow and how I'm going to grow it. And obviously there's not much for me to tell you or talk about when there's nothing really growing, right? I mean, if it's January, what can you do? What you need to do is go get some seeds, go get some lights, go get some little grow discs or some soil, find some containers in your home, and we are going to start our seeds, because now is the time to do it. It doesn't matter what zone you live in, the end of March, beginning of April, is about the right time to start sowing just about anything. You might be a little late on things. Now, if you're in England, if you're in any zone higher than 5, you're probably going to want to have already started things to get them outside. But if you're in zone 3 or 4, there's a good chance that now is going to be a good time. And it really doesn't matter. So let me show you this. If you sow in these individual containers, something like a biodegradable cup or a toilet paper roll, a kitchen towel roll, whatever, something you make from home or something you've bought like this, these little lovely cuppy things. I also have a whole big pile of them that are small and round. I like the square ones because they butt up really well to each other. If you sow like this, you're not going to disturb the roots, so you don't have to worry about sowing too early. If you sow, on the other hand, into a plastic container where you have to take it out of the container and then put it into the ground, you don't want to sow too early. In other words, you don't want to start planting too early or sowing your seeds, because you'll end up with root bound in the bottom. Your roots will all be a big tatted mess, and once you put them outside, they will take forever to expand and come out. But more importantly than that, your plant is going to experience transplant shock, and that you don't want. So if you're able to grow it like this, where you just rip off one of these little compartments and stick it right in the ground, there will be no transplant shock whatsoever. Your plant will just continue and look beautiful. I mean, aren't these gorgeous? These are lettuce, and this is a whole variety of lettuce, so at the moment I can't really tell you what it is. It's just a mix. Okay, so I start them in these tiny little trays, and I do this for a few reasons. I do this because I can see them better, because I can see what happened, what came up, and now I'm going to prick them out. Now, there are a few other ways to sow. I do have multiple options. In this case, I just wanted to get it over and get it done quick. But anyway, when I prick them out, literally pull them out, and I'll show you how to do that in a later episode, I'm going to plant them up in individual containers. So you're going to end up with, and look at how beautiful, they're all perfectly sized, nobody's leggy. These are going to be indeterminate and huge. So they're going to produce a lot of tomatoes over a long period of time. They're going to get really big, and they're going to live happily until the very last frost. That's all I'm going to tell you about what type of tomatoes there are, because otherwise, go find the tomatoes that you like. Go to your local market and try all the tomatoes and ask them what types of tomatoes you're eating, and then go to your seed banks and find the seeds for those tomatoes. That's like the most ultimate way. Try it, see if somebody else has it, or just get a whole bunch and start 2 or 3 seeds of each plant and see what you like, and then plant more next year. So that's what we've got so far, my little garden update for you guys. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next episode. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you're watching, let me know that you like what I'm doing, and let me know you want to see more. It's always really cool. feed my YouTube addiction, as they say, and let me know that you like what I'm doing. Give me a thumbs up. Thanks to all my loyal fans who are watching this video all the way to the end. I love you guys. You are so awesome. And what else? Yeah, like and share. That's of course the thing you're supposed to say at the end of the video, right? Like and share. So toodaloo, see you later. Have a great day, and check out the next video, which will be on one of these you know, lovely plants and how to grow them from seed to seedling, followed by the next one and the next one.